How is it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've been out in the garage. I actually just started a new job this week, and I wanted to take some time to just adjust to the new schedule, and I think things are going pretty good, so I'm back out in the garage now. So last time you would have saw me and Tim, we got the engine pulled out of the Prelude. It's sitting over here on the engine stand right now, and I haven't really touched it since then, and then I got straight into work on the Prelude. So basically the idea was to get the wiring harness out of there. So I didn't realize the extent of wiring that went into the body of the car, so I probably spent a good, I want to say 6 or 7 hours on the interior of the car just trying to get all the wiring out of it so I can get it sorted. But basically the entire harness that goes from the engine bay into the cab of the car is connected to everything. So I basically have to strip everything down so that I can get all the wiring out of there. I would really like to build my own harness for the car so that I don't end up having to buy an aftermarket one, because I checked online, and basically the cheapest harness that I can find, which is the most basic wiring harness for this swap, is gonna cost me about $800 US. So in Canadian dollars, that's probably gonna put me well over $1,000 just for a wiring harness, and I can't justify spending that on a wiring harness. So I want to salvage as much wiring out of the Prelude as I can. And then once I have it all laid out, I'll be able to eliminate everything that I don't need, and hopefully in the end of it I can have a decent looking wiring harness, and it'll save me a lot of money. Oh, what's this? Tim just sent me a message. Apparently there's a guy asking about stickers, if we have them for sale. We do have stickers for sale. We're currently working on a website, for those of you wondering. But we do have 3 or 4 different styles available right now. So if you're interested in something like that, send us a message either through Instagram, or you can even comment below and let us know, and then we'll figure out a way to get you some stickers. So just a heads up for you guys, and then hopefully we can get that website up soon, and then we'll have all of our inventory posted on there. So right now I've gotten to the point where I've taken the dash out of the car, and basically the entire interior is stripped down just so that I could access all the harnesses and everything. So you got the engine harness that disconnects in the engine bay, and then it goes into the cab of the car, and then it runs up into the dash. So you have a dash harness, and then there's a lower dash harness as well that gets connected to the fuse box and everything else. So I've kind of just been piecing away at it, trying to disconnect as much as I can and label it in the process. So I've got the engine harness out, it's attached to the motor. I've got the upper dash harness removed, and now I'm currently working on the lower harness. So I basically have everything disconnected from the passenger side, and I'm kind of moved on to the driver's side now. So I haven't done any recording up until now with the stripping of the Prelude, basically because it's not very interesting stuff. It's just taking stuff apart, and there wouldn't be a whole lot of content there. We've done videos in the past of us stripping vehicles, and they haven't been very popular, so I just figured I would leave that part out, and then just kind of give you guys updates along the way and show you where I'm at. So basically that's where I'm at right now. The plan is to get that wiring harness out of the car, and then at that point, I don't know if I want to do a full part out of what I have left on the car, or if I just want to sell it as a shell. The original plan was to just sell the shell and have it gone, but now I have a guy who is wanting a ton of parts off of it, and I'll probably end up making more money that way than just selling it all in one shot. So we'll see what I can remove off of it, and then I'd kind of like it gone before winter hits. We probably got a few more weeks yet before we get snow permanently, but yeah, I just really want to get this thing out of here so that I have room for other stuff. So I'm going to get back to work on the inside of the car and see if I can get that harness removed, and then I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so I've been working at this for about 2 hours now, and I basically got everything from the driver's side disconnected. It was a crazy amount of work because I actually ended up having to disconnect the pedal box assembly, the clutch box assembly, and I had to disconnect the steering column and drop it so that I could run the harness because it was running above all that, and I had to bring it down around it so that I could actually get it out. So I had to disconnect all that stuff just so that I could get the harness out. So it is out now. I did reconnect the steering column. I kept the pedal boxes out. Maybe I'll be able to sell them down the road somewhere. But yeah, at least I can still steer the thing. The only thing that I had to cut, and I tried to avoid cutting at all costs, but it was this harness here that runs to the back of the car, and it was basically attached to just about every connector here. It's split off in so many different ways that I could not track where it went, so I did end up cutting it, and I did end up labeling it where I cut it, so I know exactly where it goes if I ever have to retrieve it again. I don't know where it is right now. It's in this mess somewhere. Oh, maybe this is it. Nope, that's something else. There are so many wires here, it's insane. But I'm basically to the point now where, if you can see the wires going into the engine bay right there, that goes to the fuse box right here. So as you can see, it runs through and into the bottom of the fuse box. So basically I'm just going to disconnect all these connectors on the bottom of the fuse box, then I can run it in through the firewall, and I'll be able to pull the harness out after that. So I'm getting really close now, so I'm going to quickly do that and it'll be ready to go. Alright guys, I finally got the harness out. I have it set aside right now because I really don't want to deal with that at the moment. So I'm going to move on to some other stuff on the Prelude. I do have a guy wanting a bunch of parts actually. He was asking for the sunroof assembly, the side skirts, the fenders, and he also wants the rear quarter panels because his are rusted pretty bad. But the only problem is he lives in Saskatchewan, and shipping is going to be insane. So for now he's just said that he'll want to take the side skirts and the sunroof assembly for sure to start. So I'm going to get those removed right away. They should be fairly simple, at least the side skirts. Maybe I'll leave the sunroof for now, and yeah, we'll get that ready for him. Alright guys, so I got the side skirts off, so hopefully I can get those sold and make some more money for the Frankenstein Civic turbo build. That is enough boring stuff for today. What I want to do now is I want to get my turbo manifold and my turbo mocked up on the engine, and in that way I will know for sure if it fits or not. So before I go any further with the build, I just want to do a test fit and make sure that everything is going to line up the way it's supposed to. So I'm going to start by bolting up the manifold onto the block, and we'll see how that fits, and then see if we have any room for the turbo. I'm guessing I'm going to have to take these two brackets off of here. These are for the exhaust, which I won't be needing anymore because I'll be running a different exhaust. And then this bracket right here I believe is for the power steering or possibly the AC, so that has to go as well. So I'll probably start with taking these brackets off of here first, and then we'll see how everything fits up. so I got the turbo manifold bolted up. I only used 4 bolts for now just because I'm doing a mock-up. I don't feel like it's necessary to do all of them. I did notice that, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bit of a gap in here. So I don't know if the manifold is warped or if I just need to bolt everything up tighter, and once I have all the bolts in place then it'll fit better. I'm not sure at the moment. But I felt like if I would keep tightening this one, it was going to start to strip. So I think in the long run, I'm probably going to end up replacing all of these studs anyway, so I didn't want to go too hard on this one and all of a sudden strip it. That would make it that much harder to remove it. So I'm going to grab the turbo now, and we'll see how that fits up. Alright guys, so I got the turbo mocked up and it's actually fitting really good. And then just out of curiosity, I wanted to test fit an alternator on here as well. So this is basically where the factory alternator is going to sit. And it does fit, but as you can see, there's a very little gap in here. Either I'm going to have to run nothing on here, or I'm going to have to find a really aggressive elbow that will clear this and go around. But I think by doing that, it's going to obstruct the airflow quite a bit. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for this, because it's definitely in the way. If we look at it from the front side, this is kind of what we're dealing with right now. So if I can find either a way to modify the bracket so there's another way to tension the alternator, then I could kind of chop this whole thing off and maybe figure something else out. Maybe they make aftermarket brackets for it as well. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that. If you guys have any ideas, definitely drop a comment below for me. That would be very helpful. I'm always looking for advice, so let me know if you have any ideas. But that's basically gonna wrap up the video for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I think I got a lot accomplished today. I was really curious about the turbo to see if it was gonna fit properly or not, so I'm glad that I was able to test fit it, and it does fit. There's just that one hiccup with the alternator, so we're gonna have to see if we can figure something out for that. I got lots of parts ready to go off of the Prelude, so hopefully I can sell some of those and make some more money. Any cash is going to help go towards the build on Frankenstein, so hopefully I can sell quite a bit of stuff. And then the next big thing is going to be that wiring harness. So if I can get it all laid out and then kind of figure out which wires go where and what I need to eliminate, I'm hoping I'll be able to make my own harness, so that'll save me a lot of money that way too. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and definitely drop me a comment, because I love to hear from you guys. Any feedback is appreciated, and we will see you next time.